Sometimes, exploring means stopping to take a closer look. I'm author and researcher Mike Luoma. My girlfriend and fellow stone site investigator Amanda Riani has a knack for spotting interesting stonework on her travels and brought me out to see this site in Boylston, Massachusetts. An old logging road cuts into the woods here. Hiking is allowed in this part of the Wachusett Reservoir Watershed Tributary Headwaters zone. An old, possibly indigenous stone row runs uphill off to the right. To the left as you head further in, low stone ridges appear to have been blasted or plowed through to make way for the road, but there are still curiously shaped boulders and stones in interesting positions atop the low ridges. Across from them, we find a curious stood-up or standing stone. All around this area, we find many curiously shaped and positioned rocks and stones. Amanda spotted this stood-up or standing stone in the woods a little ways in off the logging road. There may be a winter solstice sunset alignment, though trees now obscure the distant horizon, makes it impossible to tell. I did note as I put together this presentation shortly after the one on the stones in Charlotte, Vermont, that this Boylston, Massachusetts wing-shaped stone is somewhat similarly situated to the Vermont one I'd just been looking at. As we come around the stone, it looks like we see a circular hole was bored through the stone, likely to break it off a ledge. It's smooth and rounded, so it kind of looks tool cut, or bored out some other way. There are some other marks, maybe tool marks. Was this hole used to frost wedge this stone from the ledge? I don't know. Interesting. At the very least, this stone was deliberately removed from another ledge and stood up here. This was deliberately erected. Could this be old indigenous work? The alignment, the shape of the stone, the nearby possibly Indigenous Stone Row? These add to the potential. This is a more ancient indigenous stonework. Boylston is covered by stone walls, as most people call them today. I call the single stone thickness ones stone rows, as researchers studying the indigenous stonework of New England have tended to do. Despite Yankee lore to the contrary, some of New England's stone rows are older, indigenous stoneworks, and seem to have been built incorporating serpent effigy designs. This stone row displays some intriguing, possibly indigenous designs. These stones aren't laid in traditional courses, but along more organic lines. This could be the single horn of this effigy, maybe a great horned serpent. When we look at these low ridges along the left side of the logging road, we can see that they were cut through or blasted. The ridges just end abruptly at the roadway. Still, there are curiously shaped stones atop the low ridges. This pointed stone appears to be a marker of some kind. The two boulders down the ridgetop are also intriguingly shaped. It looks like it was propped in place. When we come around to this side, the boulder appears to be deliberately wing-shaped. This second boulder is perched atop another stone. From this side, this stone too could be wing-shaped. The two wing-shaped boulders kind of point towards each other. I wonder if something was once positioned between them. On another sliced-through low ridge a little further down, we find another fin or wing-shaped stone. The stone next to the wing-shaped stone has an intriguing extension to it, almost a tab. It looks as if this stone to the side could have once been mounted on top of the other, creating a larger fin or wing shape. We wandered the surrounding area to see what more could be found. This grouping of ridgetop rocks appeared intriguing from a distance. Up close, it almost looks like something. But if this was anything, I can't see it now. This nearby hollow has the look of an old quarry. There are blocky walls of stone along the top. Is this a perched, wing-shaped boulder? This stone above it on the rise is also curiously shaped and positioned. there were more curiously shaped stones around this area. But the possibility existed that some of these were simply pulled up by growing or falling trees in their roots. Some maybe not stonework. But given the potential Indigenous Stone Row nearby, and the possible stood-up stone, we can at least consider the possibility we're looking at the remnants of ancient stonework, or perhaps the sources of stones for the other work. If you want to learn more about the potential Indigenous stonework of New England, check out additional videos on this YouTube channel, visit our Ancient Stone Mysteries of New England Facebook group, read my Ancient Stone Mysteries Substack newsletter, or check out my book, Ancient Stone Mysteries of New England, available everywhere. More details are at ancientstonemysteries.com. I'm Mike Luoma. Thank you for experiencing this stone row, stood-up stone, and more in Boylston, Massachusetts with me.